We'll discuss about another aspect today, and that is taxonomy, a very important family called Brassicaceae in Decadron family. Regarding this family, we are going to discuss about its distribution and classification and its general characters, that is the vegetative characters and reproductive characters with the technical terms, and floral diagram and floral formula, its economic importance, and also its diagnostic or salient features. Well, Brassicaceae was previously known as Cruciferae, but according to the ICBN, all family names must end with the suffix CEAE, and therefore, and also based on a particular type specimen, and hence this family name nowadays is called as or referred as Brassicaceae. Well, this name was coined by Barnett, and therefore Brassicaceae Barnett underscore Bruciferae. Well, let us discuss about its distribution. Brassicaceae is a medium-sized, economically important family of flowering plants, commonly known as the mustards. It is a mustard family in general, it is called, and it includes mustards, crucifers, the cabbages, with about 350 genera, 3,700 species, about 50 genera and 140 species in India. It is rich with glucose millets or sulfur containing chemicals and with variable basic chromosome number 3 to 30. Well, according to Engler and Prantl, this Brassicaceae belongs to division Embryophyta Siphonogamma, which means these plants are having both important features, namely the embryo, multicellular embryo, highly organized embryo, and Siphonogamma, fruit-bearing plants. Well, it is belongs to angiosperms, means they are producing fruits. It belongs to class Dicotyledonea, means each seed having two cotyledons. It belongs to subclass Archiclamidae, means the petals are free or no petals. So, order Rheodeles. Well, these Brassicaceae members are usually present in the temperate northern hemisphere with the origin of center Mediterranean region as the major center. However, some species like cordamine, lepidium, cicimbrium are cosmopolitan in distribution. The prominent genera are Brassica. Based on that, the name of the family is called as Brassicaceae, includes 50 species. Lepidium is a small prostrate creeper with 170 species. Cordamine with 160 species. The genus Cicimbrium, Capsella, Raphanus, Arabidopsis, Iberis, Armoracea. These are some of the genera. Now look at the vegetative characters of the Brassicaceae. Well, it's a habit and a habitat. Usually they are annual or biennial and rarely perennial terrestrial mesophytic herbs. Very few are undershrubs like Forsythia. So this is a flowering twig of mustard, and you can see the leaf nature and also the inflorescence and flowers. So these are small herbaceous members. Well, a root system is used since it is a dicotyledon. The root system is taproot system, but in some species, roots are modified for storage of food material in the form of, as you know, tubers, like in Raphanus sativus, that is known as radish, Brassica repa, that is turnip, then Armoracea rusticana, which are edible. Now, its stem, the members of Brassicaceae member stem is herbaceous, orthotrophic, modified in some species, as in Brassica oleracea variety condyloids, or Brassica oleracea variety capitata. Well, the leaves are simple. You can see here they are very simple leaves, but you can see dissected leaf like leucoperennes, and they are usually alternate. In some species, they are rosette, colline, ramal. Colline means they are present on the main stem. Ramal in the means they are present on the lateral branches. Radical means they are present at the basal portion and in the form of oral leaves. Petiolate, all the leaves are petiolate, rarely subsessile. The shape of the leaves varies from auricle to lyrate. So lyrate leaves or auriculate leaves is a characteristic feature of the Brassicaceae, and usually stipules are present. And the arrangement, the carline and ramal leaves are usually alternately present. The radical leaves are rosette in arrangement or oral in arrangement. So this is how the simple leaf nature is present in case of Brassicaceae members. Now move on to the reproductive characters. The first one is inflorescence. Well, the inflorescence is usually a racemose type of inflorescence. Is usually with a raceme. A raceme is usually present. You can see this diagram photo reflects this brassic raceme in a simple raceme of the racemose inflorescence, and sometimes maybe a spike or a corymb may be present, both terminal and axillary in position. They may present at the tip of the stem or they may present at the basal portion of the leaf. So the position may be whatever it may be. Well, now let us discuss about flower. Well, flower is pedicellate, ebracteate, ebracteolate, conspicuous, complete, bisexual, tetramerous, actinomorphic, rarely zygomorphic, as in iberis, chlamydious, bichlamydious, and heterochlamydious, and hypogynous with a short gynophore. Let me discuss what it means. Pedicellate means that it is a stalk bearing. Flowers usually having stalk. Ebracteate means no bracts, no bracteoles. Flower is visible so that we can able to observe the sepals, petals, androecium and gynoecium. And it is a complete, means all the four orals are there, and it is having both androecium and gynoecium. Therefore, it is known as bisexual flower. Tetramerous means the sepals and four petal lobes are four in each, so that it is tetramerous flower. And it is actinomorphic, means usually actinomorphic in the sense if you take the longitudinal section of a flower bud or a flower, we will get equal house in any plane of axis, and that is called actinomorphic flower. Rarely zygomorphic, like in this one. Chlamydious means perianth is there. Perianth is in two orals. Perianth is differentiated. That is called bichlamydious and heterochlamydious. And the flowers are hypogynous, means ovary is superior with a short gynophore. Gynophore means gynoecium is having a small axis or stalk, that is known as gynophore. Now look at the calyx. A calyx usually having sepals four, since it is a tetramerous flowers. Polysepalous, they are free, or sometimes they may be basally connect. West eastivation is a valvate eastivation. Well, now look at the petals. Four petals are there. Very interesting feature of this family. Four petals are there. Four are looks like a cross, and therefore this type of arrangement of petals or corolla is known as cruciform corolla, which is the most important characteristic feature of the family Brassicaceae, and therefore previously it is studied in the name of cruciferous family. So the corolla is very distinct in this family, and each corolla lobe you can see here, they are, as you know, a spoon-like or a spatulate in shape, and the distal portion is broad, the basal portion is narrow, and the petal lobes may be violet, white, or sometimes purple. They may be yellow in nature, depending on the genus and also species. Well, these petals are free, they are not fused, therefore it is known as polypetalous cruciform corolla. Petal shape is flowed or lobes are usually spatulate in shape. Okay, and petals may be absent in lepidium, and estivation is called velvet estivation. Now go to the andrecium. Andrecium is also showing some some variation. Usually, definite number of stamens, six stamens are present. The stamens are polyandrous in the sense they are not fused with anyone. They are free. They are independent. Both filaments and anthers, and they are arranged into whorls, two outer side, four inside. Two outer stamens are usually short. You can see in the diagram. These are short here. Two short stamens are there. In the saddle, since it is a half of the flower, two are there. So this is what I'm telling you, long stamens. Four out of four, two are there. So the arrangement of six stamens in two whorls, four in large in the center, two short outside is called a tetradynamous condition. Well, this is also a very important feature of the family Brassicaceae. Well, the anthers, dithecous, basifixed, and introdes, uh, and pollen is usually tricolpate or tricarpellate and three-celled in nature at the time of discharge. So, andrecium is also a very interesting feature of this family. Now, let us move on to the gynoecium. Well, gynoecium is made up of two carpels, that is the bicarpellary. This is the TS of ovary. You can see two carpels are there, two locules are there. Ovules are arranged on a parietal placentation. In the middle region, we have a small thin membranous structure is present, which is in future, especially in the case of fruit, it is transformed into a rhiplum or fall septum. This is called, but later on it will be converted into a rhiplum with a superior ovary, many ovules on parietal placentation. Well, parietal placentation is also another interesting and a unique character of this family. So the gynoecium is bicarpellary, syncarpous, bilocular or tetralocular due to the false septum formation, superior ovary with many ovules on parietal placentation. Well, style is terminal, stigma is capitate or bilobe, and rarely carpels may be different in some species. There may be three in case of lepidium, four in case of tetrapoma. Ovules are usually anatropous ovules, bitechmic ovules, crassinucellate ovules with polygonum embryosac. Now move on to the fruit. Fruit is very interesting feature again of Brassicaceae, and this is known as silique or silicula or silical. All are three are same, but the morphology is different. Siliqua or silique is a simple, dry, decent fruit derived from the bicarpellary syncarpous superior ovary, ovules, and parietal placentation. So this is the what you call siliqua dehisced siliqua fruit, and you can see this is the rhiplum. On the rhiplum we have, please remember, the yellow colored, brown colored circles are there, which indicates the presence of seeds, and these are the valves of the fruit. And this type of unique fruit, thin, narrow, elongate fruit is called siliqua, and this is the characteristic feature of the Brassicaceae. But if the fruit is very less, having a few seeds, bit broad, then it is called silicula. A short few seeded fruit is called a silicula, which is present in shepherd's pods called Capsula bursa pachure. So this is a very important thing. And even sometimes in some species like Thysonocarpus laciniatus, a single seed fruit may be present, that is called selicle. Three different types of, based on the nature of the ovary, the fruit formation is going to be resulted, and it may be very long linear, very short and broad, and one seeded fruit. And these are the three different types of simple, dry, decent fruits are going to be produced by the members of Brassicaceae. Well, this is the floral diagram. You can see this is the axis. No bract is here. and therefore only the calyx is having four lobes, which are in a imbricate condition, or two are out, two are in. This is called imbricate situation. But as I told you, valvate may be present, but depending on the species, light variation will be there. And if this is second oral is the uh, corolla lobes, but here we cannot show the cruciform corolla, just four are there. And this uh, six stamens are there, four long in the inner whorl, two short outer whorl. So this is called tetradynamous condition, but we cannot able to say yeah, all are looks alike because of dipicus anthers. And this is the parietal placentation containing TS ovary, which is indicating the nature of the gynecium. So this is the rhiplum, bilacular ovule here, bicarpal corpus, bilacular ovule with ovules on parietal placentation. And this diagram is in circle form, and therefore the symmetry of the flower is actinomorphic. So the floral formula based on this floral diagram is EBR, E bracteate, EBRL, E bracteolate, actinomorphic, bisexual because we have androecium and gynecium, and it is having four sepals, four petals, six stamens, two short, four long, tetradynamous condition. Gynecium ovary is superior with two carpels with a syncarpous condition. So this is about the floral diagram and floral formula. Now let us move on to the economic importance. Well, this family provides leafy and tuberous roots as vegetables. Some are some of these are Brassica napus, Brassica oleracea, Brassica capitata, that is known as cabbage, Brassica oleracea variety gondyloides, that is known called Brassica oleracea variety gemmifera, that is known as Brussels sprouts or leafy birds, Brassica oleracea variety botrytis, that is called cauliflower, Brassica rapa, that is known as turnip, and Chinese cabbage, Araphana sativus, radish, Armoraceae rusticana. So most of them are leafy vegetables. As you know, they are with a bit of sulfurous odor or smell usually because of glycosinolate compounds presence. Now let us move on to other importance. As you know, some of these are we are using as condiments like Brassica gentiana, Brassica nigra, that is mustard, black mustard. Even white mustard is also there, that is known as Brassica alba. Well, the edible oils are extracted from mustard oil, might have heard about. So that is from Brassica gentiana, variety sarsan, and also Brassica gentiana, sorry, Brassica campestris and Brassica napus. So some of species are used as model organisms in the field of botany, especially molecular biology, called as Arabidopsis thaliana. So this is a model organism. It is a small wild weed, which is a herbaceous weed, which is extensively used in order to study the developmental biology, molecular biology, plant biotechnology, and therefore it is called a model organism, which is having 10 chromosomes. And another one we are using to study the embryogeny or embryo development patterns, especially in case of dicots. The best example we will choose is the embryo development in a wild weed called as Capsula bursa paturis, generally called as shepherd's cress. So this is about the economic importance of the family and also its importance in the field of botany. Now let us move on to the last aspect, that is diagnostic or salient features of Brassicaceae. Well, as I told you, all Brassicaceae members except one or two, they are annual or biennial, very rarely perennial herbs with sulfurous odor. And generally, this sulfurous odor is because of presence of glycosinolates compounds. Well, flowers, if you look at the flowers are tetramerous with a cruciform corolla. And if you look at the androecium, stamens six and tetradynamous in nature. And if you look at the ovary, it is bicarpal in corpus, superior ovary with ovules on parietal placentation. Well, sometimes in all, not in all the cases, presence of short gynophore. and fruit is always siliqua or silicula with exalbumina seeds and a false repla. Thank you.